You just unpacked your boxes, looked out at those gorgeous Wasatch Peaks, and realized your mortgage payment is basically a hostage negotiation. That feeling of excitement for a new chapter. It kind of fades when you realize your monthly payment looks more like a ransom note. And your home value is quietly bleeding out in the driveway. The Beehive State used to be the ultimate safe haven for affordable family living and insane outdoor access. People moved here for the views, the space, the adventure, and, for a while, it was like you hit the jackpot. But today, things have changed. Utah's housing market has flipped on its head, and some of the cities you thought were a slam dunk are now more like a financial minefield. Whether it's skyrocketing prices, stagnant home values, or just plain bad luck, some places are just not a good bet right now. I'm diving deep into the real numbers, the hidden pitfalls, and the stuff your real estate agent probably won't tell you. So, if you're thinking about buying in Utah or just want to see if your city made the list, stick around. We're counting down the 10 worst Utah cities to buy a home right now. And hey, I'm using music from the YouTube studio in this video. Drop a comment and tell me if you like the music at the start, the middle, or the end. Let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off with Ogden. Now, if you grew up in Utah, you probably remember Ogden as the affordable, blue-collar alternative to Salt Lake City. But those days, they're long gone. Right now, buying a home in Ogden means you're stepping into a market where prices have shot up way faster than incomes. And sure, you might see houses that look like a deal on paper, but when you compare what you're paying to what you're getting, the value just isn't there anymore. The big problem here is that, even after the pandemic housing rush, Ogden hasn't seen the kind of value growth that justifies these new prices. You could be looking at a home that'll cost you $500,000, but it's barely appreciating. That's tough if you're hoping for your investment to actually pay off in a few years. Plus, inventory has tightened up. Fewer homes are going up for sale, and the ones that do get snapped up almost instantly, often by investors or out-of-state buyers. This drives up competition, meaning regular buyers are stuck in bidding wars or forced to settle for less than ideal properties. To make matters worse, property taxes and maintenance costs are rising too. So, you're getting squeezed from every angle: high sticker price, slow value growth, and more bills every month. While Ogden still has those mountain views and cool local spots, for buyers right now, it's a risky play. If you want to see what not to do in today's market, Ogden is basically the poster child. Now, Salt Lake City might seem like an obvious contender for best place to live, but when it comes to buying a home, it's another story. Prices here are wild, and unless you're rolling in tech money, getting into the market feels almost impossible. The average home price is so high that even well-paid professionals are stretching themselves thin just to make a down payment. What's worse, home values in Salt Lake City aren't growing like they used to. A few years ago you could buy a house, sit back, and watch your equity stack up. Now, appreciation has slowed way down, so you're paying premium prices, but there's no guarantee your investment will actually grow. Let's talk competition. New listings barely last a week, and they're often gobbled up by investors or people moving in from even pricier cities. This means you're either battling it out in a bidding war or settling for a fixer-upper with a ton of hidden costs. It's a lose-lose for regular buyers. On top of that, property taxes and homeowner fees are climbing. Every month, it feels like there's a new bill in the mailbox, so that affordable mortgage payment, it's a myth. The city's amenities are great, but they come at a steep cost. So if you're eyeing Salt Lake City, be ready to spend big and wait a long time before you see any return. Right now, it's just not the buyer's paradise it used to be. Provo's reputation as a college town with startup vibes made it a magnet for young families and professionals, but today, affordability is pretty much out the window. The average home price has soared past what most new grads or young families can afford, and salaries just aren't keeping up. Worse yet, Provo's housing market is in a weird place. Demand is high, but the actual growth in home values is stalling. That means you're paying top dollar, but you might not see the appreciation you need if you plan to move or refinance in a few years. It's like buying into a hype train that's run out of steam. A lot of what's driving this is low inventory. New construction can't keep up with the number of people moving in, so every decent listing gets swarmed. That means buyers are forced to make quick decisions and sometimes overlook major issues just to secure a spot. Plus, university housing demand is pushing rents higher, which impacts home prices across the board. If you're not careful, you could end up in a bidding war with investors or parents looking to buy for their students, making it even tougher to find a good deal. So, in Provo right now, frustration is the name of the game. The dream of affordable, easy homeownership? Not here. West Valley City is Utah's second largest city, but for buyers, it honestly feels like a game you just can't win. The biggest problem here is competition. There are way more people trying to buy than there are homes for sale. Every time a house hits the market, it's like a feeding frenzy. If you don't put in an offer within hours, you're out of luck. And because there's so much competition, sellers can jack up their prices and still get what they want. This pushes affordability way out of reach for average buyers. Inventory is painfully low, and new listings barely make a dent. If you're hoping for a deal, you'll be disappointed. Most homes sell above asking price, and if you wait for the market to cool down, you might be waiting forever. On top of that, many of the homes available need serious repairs or updates, but with so much competition, buyers are skipping inspections or paying over asking, even for fixer-uppers. That's a recipe for disaster if you're not prepared for big, unexpected expenses down the line. So, West Valley City might look attractive on the surface, but dig a little deeper, and you'll see why it's one of the worst places to buy in Utah right now. Layton used to be a sweet spot for families, close to Salt Lake but way more affordable. But now, Layton's housing market is getting squeezed from all sides. Prices have crept up so much that the affordable label just doesn't apply anymore. The demand here is off the charts, especially for single-family homes. But the supply? Not keeping up. That means buyers are stuck with fewer options, higher prices, and a lot more stress. You're competing with everyone from first-timers to out-of-state relocators, and it gets overwhelming fast. Interest rates aren't helping either. Even if you find a house that fits your needs, your mortgage payment could be way higher than you expect. And homes in Layton aren't appreciating at the rate they used to, so you're not guaranteed to build equity quickly. On top of that, some neighborhoods are seeing property taxes creep up, and there's a growing concern about overdevelopment. More houses mean more traffic, and less of that small-town feel people loved about Layton in the first place. So, if you're thinking Layton is a safe bet, think again. It's a tough market and not getting easier anytime soon. St. George is famous for its red rock views and warm weather, but buyers here are facing a double whammy: overvaluation and slow appreciation. Home prices have exploded in recent years, driven by out-of-state buyers looking for a sunny retirement or a vacation home. But here's the catch: those high prices aren't being backed up by solid growth. Appreciation has slowed down, and a lot of experts worry that St. George's market is headed for a correction. If you buy in now, you could be paying way more than your house will actually be worth in a few years. Inventory is also a big issue. The best homes get snapped up fast, but a lot of what's left are overpriced or need major work. That means you're either overpaying or taking on a massive renovation project just to get in the door. Plus, with so many out-of-towners buying up property, locals are struggling to keep up. That's made it even tougher for first-time buyers or young families trying to get a foothold in the market. St. George might still be a beautiful place to visit, but for buying a home right now, it's a risky move. If you're looking at Sandy, be prepared for some serious sticker shock. Mortgage payments here are among the highest in the state, and home prices keep climbing with no end in sight. For families looking for space and good schools, it's a tough pill to swallow. The market here is brutal. Even older homes in need of updates are selling for premium prices, and competition is fierce. If you're not putting in an aggressive offer, you're getting left behind. And those high prices, they aren't always matched by high appreciation rates, so your money might not go as far as you hope. Sandy's neighborhoods are great, but the costs keep stacking up. Property taxes, utilities, HOA fees, it all adds up fast. You could be out thousands more every year than you expected when you first started house hunting. There's also a trend of people moving further out to find more affordable options, which means demand in Sandy stays high, but inventory remains tight. That's a recipe for even more price hikes. So unless you've got a huge budget and nerves of steel, buying in Sandy right now is a financial challenge. Orem's market looks friendly on the surface, family neighborhoods, great schools, and lots of amenities. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll see why buyers really need to be super cautious right now. Prices have jumped in the last few years, but appreciation is starting to level off. There's also a lot of competition, especially for homes near schools or parks. That's driven prices even higher, and buyers are often forced to stretch their budgets just to get in the game. But with slower value growth, that's a risky move if you're hoping to build equity quickly. Part of the problem is that Orem's growth has totally outpaced its infrastructure. More homes, more traffic, and more pressure on schools mean that the quality of life isn't really keeping up with the price tags. That could spell trouble down the road. Plus, there are more investors in rental properties than ever before, which can make some neighborhoods feel less stable for long-term homeowners. If you're looking for that classic Orem community vibe, honestly, it's getting harder to find. So for buyers, Orem is full of caution signs. Make sure you know what you're getting into before you sign on the dotted line. Logan is known for its college town energy and beautiful surroundings, but right now, buyers are facing some serious headaches. The demand for homes is high, thanks to Utah State University and a steady stream of new residents, but supply just isn't keeping up. That means buyers are fighting over a small pool of homes, and prices are rising faster than incomes. Even modest properties are going for way above asking price, making it tough for first-timers or young families to break in. Another problem? Logan's market is pretty volatile. Appreciation rates bounce around, so it's hard to predict if your investment will actually pay off. You could end up overpaying now and not see any real gains for years. Plus, with so many college rentals in the mix, it can be hard to find a stable, long-term home. Investors are snapping up properties to rent out to students, pushing prices even higher, and making it tough for regular buyers to compete. So, while Logan has a lot going for it, buying a home here right now is a major challenge. Last but definitely not least, we've got South Jordan. This city looks amazing on paper, newer homes, master-planned neighborhoods, and tons of amenities. But don't be fooled by the shiny exterior. The reality for buyers is a lot tougher. Prices in South Jordan have surged, and while they look stable, appreciation has slowed to a crawl. That means you're paying a premium for a home that might not gain much value in the next few years. And with so many homes built in the last decade, there's a risk of the market getting oversaturated if demand drops. Competition is still fierce, especially for the most desirable neighborhoods. Bidding wars are common, and buyers often end up stretching their budgets way too far just to win a deal. That's a recipe for buyer's remorse if the market cools off. Another thing to watch out for: rising HOA fees and property taxes. These can eat into your budget quickly, turning your dream home into a monthly money pit. Plus, with so many similar homes in master-planned communities, resale value can be unpredictable if the market shifts. So, South Jordan might look like the place to be, but right now, buyers need to be extra careful. If you're thinking about buying in Utah, make sure you do your homework and don't get trapped in a bad deal. The market has changed a lot in the last few years, and what used to be a safe bet is now a gamble in some of these cities. No matter how pretty the mountains look, you don't want to end up with a financial headache that lasts for years. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of a new home, but remember, look beyond the curb appeal, dig into the numbers, ask tough questions, and don't be afraid to walk away if something doesn't feel right. There are still good deals out there, but you have to be patient and stay sharp to find them. Let me know in the comments which city surprised you the most, and don't forget to tell me your favorite background music timing for future videos. Your feedback helps me make these videos even better, and together, we can help everyone make smarter moves in this wild housing market.